like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Fucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Yeah, I thought again, a lot of good work today. It's a little hotter today than it was yesterday. We got a little light on the offensive line today down there on the offensive side, and they got a really good front, and so it led to some challenges in terms of protection. But I thought our guys fought. I thought our guys battled through. A couple of guys took a ton of snaps. Lewis Kidd, Trevor Penning, like those guys took a ton of snaps, and I saw some good things. So it was good work again today.
Were you close to letting Jameis go today?
I don't think so. That wasn't our plan coming out here today. Our plan was kind of go through a little bit of the same deal that we went through yesterday. I haven't gotten a full report, but he sounded like it was a little bit better today. So, we'll see.
Is it possible he would play Friday night?
No, I don't think so.
Coach, there's some more skirmishes today than yesterday, a little more physical. What do you think that was? Why was that?
Look, second day, everybody goes in and they get coached up a little bit. And so they come out with a little bit more fire the next day. It's, you don't like seeing it, but it's part of what happens in these practices when you're going against another team. So we dealt with it. We moved on from it, and I thought we had a couple of good days of work.
Was Jarvis leaving practice related to that?
Yeah.
Anything you can say about James Hurst's status?
Foot. It's really all I can say, till we get a chance to delve into it a little bit more.
You said you saw some good things in terms of Lewis Kidd and Trevor Penning getting more snaps, specifically around Lewis Kidd.
Well, look, number one is they battled through a lot of snaps, which wasn't easy to do, and against a pretty good front. Just to the naked eye, I thought there was a few times in protection I thought he held up pretty well. But certainly we'll go back and we'll look at the tape and have a better evaluation of how everything went. But yeah, I thought him just battling through was impressive.
I know earlier today, Coach LaFleur said that it's good for you all to be here since you play kind of a 4-base front there, a 3-base front. How good is that for your offense to maybe see something?
I think it's good. I think it's really good. We go all training camp and we play a 4-down front, and so getting some opportunities at some 34 looks I think is good because it changes some rules and it changes some blocking schemes, and there's some matchups at times that are not as advantageous for us in terms of the run game or protection based on a 34 scheme that, you'd have to really do some work on schematically to make sure you're putting your players in the best position. But it's good to just go out and evaluate how we play ball. And so, I think that's a good defense that we went up against, and it was good for us to get that work.
Coach, what's it going to take, do you think, for Michael Thomas to get back to what he did in 2019?
Well, we're going to have to throw him a lot of balls. Look, I think he looks great. I thought he looked a little better today than yesterday. But when I watch Michael Thomas out at practice, I see Michael Thomas that I saw pre-injury. I see a big, strong, physical wide receiver that makes a ton of contested catches. And I saw it. I saw it in these practices. So, what's it going to take? I don't know. I kind of see a guy that looks pretty good.
Are you all having, sorry, referencing up to the floor presser today? He said that you all are having some kind of a get-together.
Yeah, there's a little function this evening.
Is that normal, or is that just something that you hear? I'm just asking you.
Well, I think they did that last year. The Jets were in here last year. I think they had a little function last year. We've typically, when we've gone to go work against somebody, we've had some sort of staff function. They typically have happened prior to, like right upon arrival. But we got to work in, and we'll go have some cheese curds and maybe have a Miller Lite.
Sorry, you walked in with only food.
Snack time. I understand.
Apologize.
Yes, sir.
How you feel, just physically and all that, now that you've been doing more and more?
The program that the teams had me on with Coach DA and the training staff that they've had me on, it's really allowed me to start slowly transitioning and getting back to my old self and getting the flow for the game. And being out here in these joint practices allows me to compete against another guy, work on some technique, and just get back to the real thing.
We've had multiple. We ask a lot of guys about you, and every guy says Mike Thomas looks like Mike Thomas. Do you feel that? Does it feel back for you, or you still would say still getting it?
I'd definitely say personally still getting there, but always try to play like nothing happened, and put it behind you and just put your foot in the ground and go hard, point A to point B, and try to always just play hard, play with a lot of effort, play to the whistle so that none of those things show up.
What are some of the things that you feel like you need to do to kind of be like, all right, I'm there now?
Just everything. Just fine-tuning everything, mastering my craft, just attention to detail, the little things. Those are the type of things that get you open in this league. Some other things.
Thank you, Taz. Shout out to Taz,
I could just
man.
keep improving
Taz
every day. That's
Multimedia
the good
for hitting
thing
that
about
sub
coming
button.
out
Much
here
love.
and having high-intensity practices and competing and working on your game and just perfecting your craft. So I feel like I'm far from perfecting my craft, so I feel like every day I can find something to get better at.
When you're out there, like on a day like today, do you maybe appreciate it just a little bit more from having the last 2 years of all the...
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you definitely appreciate it. And you just want to encourage the younger guys, just, take care of your body, handle your business, and, make the most out of it, play hard, don't take a rep for granted, and, lead by example.
You obviously have seen what it looks like when it's done right here in 18, 19, 17. Now that it's kind of no longer Sean and Drew, and it's kind of a new era, so to say, do you get a feel that you all can still be special? I'm sure you got a feel maybe on those teams.
Yeah, absolutely. We're surrounded by great coaches. When great coaches get a player that's hungry and wants to come out here and get better and compete and take coaching, that's what the game's about, coming out, correcting your mistakes, taking coaching, taking honest coaching, and, putting your foot in the ground, playing hard, playing with effort, and the type of things that DA preaches and coaches, the coaches still here. So, when it's time to line up, we just have to execute. That's the biggest thing, executing. And, no discredit to, Drew or Sean. They're tremendous Hall of Famers, great guys, but DA has the same pedigree and the same potential and the same resume, and we're here to prove that.
Like, was there like any feel some certain type of way when you got that first like competitive rep out of the way and you're able to?
Oh yeah, you always want to just go for more, and I don't know. I still feel like every day I'm coming out here, I'm still feeling that every day just to be out here and be back in camp and be able to get reps and get competitive reps, and just even from routes on air to individual, I'm always trying to treat them like game reps.
What is Cody Burns' process of the receivers room? Just kind of how would you describe it?
High effort, great teacher. Has a lot of drills, knows how to combo things. Definitely knows how to improve top ends. All the stuff you need to become a great receiver in this league, he definitely knows how to compartmentalize and improve those little things. So sky's the limit for him at this level, and I'm excited to be on his team and play for him and prove him right.
Like the kind of a weird question, but just considering how important your hands are, what do you do?
Yeah.
Do you do anything like special? Like, do you go get like manicures and stuff?
Yeah, for sure. You got to always get massages, keep the tissues right in your hand, and, always want to keep flexibility in your hands and stuff like that. Definitely get massages on my hands, but, since I had the ankle, I was getting a lot of massage work on my ankle. Forgot about my hands a little bit, but I'm back on that, so I'll get back to that. I definitely love a hand massage.
Dennis said yesterday that he was confident by the time you hit the first game that you would be fully ramped up and ready to go. Based on what you've seen out of yourself or felt out of yourself, you're confident that you'll be at that mark by week 1?
Yes, sir. I trust Dennis. I trust his plan that he has for me. And, I'm here to just take coaching and find out the things that I can improve on from here until week 1 and maximize the opportunity of improving those and becoming a better player before we even get to week 1. So just every day is another day to come out here, compete, fine-tune our craft, and meet coach at that point. If he's expecting me to be ready week 1, so I have to be ready week 1.
Shout out to the mighty Mike, can't guard Mike Thomas, dropping the science, saying that he's going to be there for week 1, showing off in camp. It's what he does. Mike is the man. He's a future first ballot Hall of Fame wide receiver. We in the Who Dat Nation understand that. We know that what he's doing in camp is just who he is, and what he's going to do in the season will be that as well. Now, before I get into the rest of the breakdown on what happened in camp today, allow me to play for you guys one more piece of video right here from his uncle, who was on the KJM show, the Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max show. Let me play for you guys a little of that today, here with Mike Thomas's uncle, Keyshawn Johnson, had to say about Mike today. Here we go. Put one in the chat if you can hear, fam.
Garage, 2-car garage, nice little house in the suburbs of Dallas. Own. Oh, that's the last time I've been on a Greyhound bus, So it's like, I'm like, they ain't really my cousin.
Who's going to have the biggest bounce back season in the NFL 2022 key?
Mine's easy. My nephew, Michael Thomas. Easy.
Good pick.
It's a layup,
That's
right?
easy.
When you think about 2 years ago when he was fully healthy, when he played his last season prior to getting his ankle injury, he's the best receiver in football. Wasn't even close. I understand that people think because he didn't play all of last year and parts of the year before when he initially injured the ankle that he's not going to be the same dude. I'm here to tell you, he's going to be better than he was.
Why better?
Well, because one, he had an opportunity to rest up and heal up, so he's fresh. His mind is fresh. He can now go back and look at some of the things that he did wrong and make those corrections as a player. And he's got a quarterback with a stronger arm than he had with Drew Brees, who was very accurate. So when you look at the situation, and he's out to prove the negative people wrong. And as they say, the apple don't fall too far from the tree in DNA and family. So he has a different mentality like me. He's going to show you something different and make you like him.
Is he, would you say, like, that's chip on the shoulder type stuff? Like, oh, I'm out.
Before I let Max finish blabbing on, Max is one of those guys who would pick Julio Jones. He's did it. He picked Julio Jones and several other wide receivers over Mike Thomas, simply because they were faster than Mike Thomas, which is absolutely asinine. But that's his thought process. And remember, Max Kellerman's greatest gift to the world is that he does wonderful boxing commentary. Got to give it to Max on that. He's a savant when it comes to boxing topics, because I'm a guy that knows a lot about boxing. We do Ring Kings boxing. This is something that's really, really something close to my heart, like the Who Dat Nation and the Pels and that kind of thing. And that's his gift to the world. But talking about other sports is definitely, especially football, is not his forte.
Out of sight, out of mind. Like, is that burning him up right now?
All and whatever fantasy and all that.
Like, oh, I'm out of sight, out of mind. Like, is that burning him up right now?
And whatever fantasy and Madden and all the different stuff.
Ratings are too low, underdrafted.
Okay, cool,
yeah.
underdrafted. All right, cool, no problem. Same thing he did when he came out of Ohio State and was drafted in the second round.
Yeah.
Best receiver for the first 4 years.
I was shocked the other day when people didn't have him as a top 10 wide receiver in the league. Remember, we were on First Take talking about that.
Yeah, but I can't listen to no
It's
Mad
shocking to me.
Dog
Just
and
because
all
somebody's
that.
been
What do
out.
They know.
Let me tell you why it's not shocking. Because the top receivers are all great, and anything that can be used against you will be, because you try and fit what you can into the top 10.
But a lot
so if
of
a dude
it,
hasn't played for a year, they're going to drop you.
Yeah, but because a lot of it is recency bias. Like, I haven't seen it, so I.
And like I said,
But I agree with Kilo. There's no reason why. There's nothing like in terms of his injury or anything like that. There's no reason why he wouldn't be the same player when he comes back.
Well, there is a reason. Oh, you mean from the rating standpoint, or just as a
like
player?
why? Like, what about what happened to him would make him a lesser player now?
Because people need a reason to make you a lesser player for content and conversation.
There you go. There you go. Let me spin that part back again, because that's key hitting on exactly what it is, man.
About what happened to him would make him a lesser player now.
Because people need a reason to make you a lesser player for content and conversation. The fact that he had 0 catches and somebody else had 85 makes them better than him.
Recency bias,
Yeah,
like I said.
What does that have to do with anything?
I mean, you can have the question around Jameis Winston, and not having Drew Brees anymore. But I mean, that's a concern.
But that's still.
And watch Keyshawn shuts that shit down, because Jay Will was throwing that in his face. Well, you can have the conversation that really Drew Brees is gone, even though these are the same people that's saying Drew Brees is not the same quarterback that he was 5 years prior. He's older. He doesn't have the zip on his the throw. Orlovsky used to say that Drew Brees doesn't have the zip on his passes anymore, that he got a noodle arm and all this kind of same people now.
When you're evaluating talent, you still need to understand the talent that you're evaluating. Jameis Winston, all Jameis Winston needs to do, Jay, is put it in the catch radius.
Yep. There you
if
go.
You put it in the catch radius.
His touchdowns might go up with Jameis.
Exactly. Do you not think that he'll put it in the catch radius?
Yeah.
Once he puts it in the catch radius, Mikey has glovies.
Right.
But
he had 0. I think he had 0 drops the last year.
But it's all those
cup.
excuses. Sean Payton's not there. Drew Brees isn't there. Dennis Allen, even though.
Okay. So obviously Drew Brees and Drew Brees has been retired now, going in for 2 years. So they come up with every and anything to kind of shot put you, to put you down. But the thing is, Keyshawn Johnson brings up a great and valid point about catch radius anywhere around Mike, and St. Wyatt did an excellent shout out to the St. Wyatt. They did a wonderful job. John Sigler did a wonderful job on one of the articles. We covered it on the show, where he actually pinpointed statistically the quarterbacks that Mike played with since he's been here. And even with Taysom Hill and others, the catch percentage, or the catch percentage, the completion percentage rather, that he would throw to either one of the guys, any quarterback, whether it was Trevor, Simeon, or whoever was throwing to him, the percentages was 80, 81%. It's ridiculous. Thank you, Derrick. Shout out to you for being a member for 6 months of Pro Star #1. Shout out to you, brother Derrick. But yeah, this is indicative of the thought process of people who don't really do their research on it. How you going to say Drew Brees is not there? Drew Brees is going on. He's been going on for 2 years now. What the hell are you talking about, bro? Seriously? Sean Payton's not there, but Dennis Allen has Pete Carmichael. And most of Sean Payton's offensive staff still resides down in the facility. It's not, like I said, it's a big difference here when Coach Payton took off to go talk about the games on television, as opposed to saying he's going to another team to take another coaching job right away. A big difference, because he could have took offensive pieces with him to said new job coaching. Instead, he's by himself somewhere going to be talking about football, and the majority of his staff, offensive wise, that are comfortable with his system over a period of long years, is still in the building with Pete Carmichael. The players are familiar with his system. So this is a very unique situation. So I can understand, being that he's watching a lot of New York football, the Giants, the Jets, all these sucky teams that don't have a core or don't have a winning philosophy. They still trying to find guys that can teach them how to win. I mean, they keep stumbling and bumbling. They stumble and bumble through coach after coach after coach, because nobody is powerful enough to install a winning culture and system in these losing jokey teams. So I can understand most of these guys not understanding what that's like. But here, the only piece you pulled out is Coach Payton, but all of the pieces that was around Coach Payton that helped him have success. See, that's the thing. It's like, oh, it's all on Payton. But Coach Payton had a wonderful job here. He did a wonderful job with the Who Dat Nation. But the people that helped Coach Payton are still in the building. They didn't go anywhere. They're still there. So this is something I just wanted to add to the conversation.
So the continuity is still there with our OC. Like, it's people like to draw those type of conclusions around those
But
questions.
it is a good point about Michael Thomas, that he had the most accurate quarterback of all time in Drew Brees, but he doesn't need the most accurate guy. He just needs a guy to get it in the ballpark.
Catch radius.
Right.
If I got a quarterback that can put it in catch radius, I can do the rest. I mean, that's just
his touchdowns might go up.
Yeah,
because Jameis likes to air it out.
I'm gonna give you my comeback guy.
Okay, so that I'm gonna cut him off before he opened his fat mouth. But the reality is, now Max, as you heard, Max had epiphanies dealing with what Keyshawn Johnson was breaking down. All of a sudden, you seen Max Kellerman started having, wow, his touchdowns could really go up. Yes, Max, get the brain turning, my friend. Get it turning and understand that the Saints ain't playing no games. We're not playing no goddamn games. We're not going to play with you. The black and gold is here, and this is what we're going to do. Oh, hey, his touchdowns could go up. Yes. Yes, they can. And thank you for joining us today, Max. But the reality is, like I said, man, and Keyshawn Johnson, shout out to Keyshawn Johnson. He's just protecting his kinfolk. But he said it wonderfully. A lot of these people are doing this stuff for content because they know, even these people from overseas that do these little videos online, they'll take content. Notice this, they're not doing this for a lot of other teams. That other teams ain't getting the kind of views that if they take Saint content, just Saint content, they be mislabeling the hell out of it, saying this, that, and the third. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They just doing it on YouTube to get money over there from wherever they come from. But they even know, from people who are novice to the game, know that, man, if you get Saint stuff and put it up there, man, they're going to start watching the hell out of it. Because the reality is that people understand and know that they pick at the Who Dat Nation. They've been doing it for years. But now we have the ability to fire back at your rotten tail. And so you got commentators with flawed commentary. If you're going to open your big fat mouth and don't have the facts and talking about Drew Brees, when Drew Brees has been going on for 2 years now, that's not even a relevant part of the argument now. Well, Sean Payton's not there. Drew Brees is not there. Bro, Drew Brees has been gone for going on 2 years. Where the hell you been? What rock you been sleeping under? But anyway, we started the broadcast off with Dennis Allen dropping science about the practice. He gave a little update on James Hurst, said he had a foot issue. Michael Thomas even told you about his. Every time Mike talks, I always try to get Mike on in there because you don't be hearing from Mike Thomas like that. And of course, ultimately, I try to slide one of them little videos in there to hear what Keyshawn, because when Keyshawn talks Saints, I always like to put them on because Keyshawn be talking about the Saints from an inside perspective. Like when he broke down, we got the other side of the argument. What happened with Mike prior to that injury when he was saying that he held it up. Keyshawn came out, we covered it, talked about it on the stream. How Keyshawn said, "Nah, hold on, pump your brakes on that. It wasn't Mike Thomas, it was the Saints." And all this kind of stuff. So he gave us the inside bait. Whatever side you fall on, just know that there are always two sides to the story. We heard Keyshawn's, Michael Thomas's side from his uncle, Keyshawn Johnson, who will drop a little game on you from inside the mind of Mike that Mike won't tell you. Mike gonna keep it professional like you just heard him. We played him. Keyshawn will drop a few diamonds and jewels on you about the mindset of Mike, knowing that he, about the Madden rating and the rankings and the fantasy. He hear all of that. I kept saying that. If you got a professional athlete that tell you, "Oh, I don't pay attention to none of that," that dude lying his ass off. He either one or two things going on. He got his house wrapped around that little funny NASA film or stuff where you don't get no Wi-Fi, and he ain't, or he's somewhere living up in the Himalayas. Either one of the two, but you can't get around it. And a lot of athletes understand and know that the best way to do it is just use it as fuel to fire to kind of propel them to where they're supposed to be. So anyway, I'd like to thank all you guys and salute the Who Dat Nation, the Great Saint Think Tank, for joining me today. Please feel free to smash upon a like button if you hadn't hit the like button. Over 200 of us in the stream. Please feel free, if you hadn't had an opportunity, hit the hell out that like button. Smash upon that like button. Shout out to Taz Multimedia and others for subscribing. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and by all means, feel free to share the show's link on your social media feed as we get going with the Coma in this edition. So, and like I've been saying for some time now, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. In this thing, man, we're gonna cover that. We started off with that. We're gonna go over the camp breakdown coming from our good friends at the Saints News Network. We're going to flash over to a couple of other articles, and we're going to cover a Penning situation along with Hurst. And we're also going to talk about the fact that the Saints claimed a familiar face off of the waiver wire to help them out with their offensive line issues right now. And this is a part of camp. We're going to have guys that are going to get kind of a little scrambled up a bit, but we'll just have to keep watching how things present themselves. Shout out to the entire fam. Brian is throwing out the question. It's a Pelican-related question about the Kevin Durant. We have a show we did, Brian. You go check the Pelican post-game report. We did a stream covering that exact topic about Kevin Durant. If you want to know what we think about it, go on over to the Pelican post-game report. It's the latest show that we did talking about that same story. So check that out. All right, shout out to all the fam, man, as we get going. Appreciate y'all being in the building. And let's get it crunk. Let's get it popping, baby, as we get it started here. Hold on, give me just a second, fam. This little thing here always resetting itself here. Give me just a second. Let me get it where it's supposed to be. Hold on, just a second here. All right. Yep. And nope. Bam. There we go. All right. So anyway, let's get on over to this side of things. All right. All right, so Saints camp, man. Notes and observations. Day 6 Wednesday joint practice with the Packers was a bit more spirited and brought a few extra concerns for the black and gold. Shout out to Jim Hendricks. Green Bay, the second and final joint practice between the Pack and the Saints went quickly, and things ended up 15 minutes earlier. They ended 15 minutes earlier today, which is a part of the plan on schedule. The flow was mostly the same from yesterday. Each team practiced some of their own for stretching, walkthroughs, and position-specific drills. They got together for team drills the rest of the way. And here's a couple of the notes. The attendance report among those players not spotted was Pete Werner, Ryan Ramczyk, Forrest Lamp, and Jaleel Johnson. Nick Vannett returned to practice after initially not being with the team due to an illness. Dwayne Washington, Chase Hansen, Landon Young, Andrews Pete were among those that were present but not participating. Davenport was in pads originally and participated in walkthroughs but ended up in street clothes like yesterday. Jameis Winston report. Jameis Winston seemed a bit closer, but he won't be playing against the Pack on Friday. We know that. Like I told you, I don't think Jameis Winston plays for the rest of the flipping preseason, and he shouldn't. The idea should just be getting Jameis as healthy as they could do, practice as much as you allow them. But when it comes down to preseason playing them games, hell no. Ain't no need, the reason even put them up in there. Save them for week 1 of the regular season when the games actually matter. Now, he was around practice, and they showed footage of Jameis walking around. He threw a few balls and stuff like that, doing sprints and team walkthroughs. However, he didn't participate in any team drills. So that's also to be said. And, of course, this is one of the ones right here. Let me see if I can tee this one up for you, fam. As you can see, Jameis Winston and Michael Thomas connecting, man, on this one right here. Let me see if I can kind of, yeah, there you go. And there's Mike throwing to Jameis with the snap. Jameis toward the sideline, and Mike catches it and gets up there. So this is one of the things, too, to be saying that I love to see. That Jameis is coming back from injury. Mike is coming back from injury. And those two mean a lot of a big deal for the Saints offense to have success through these two players, man. That's what it's going to come down to. And once again, just love seeing that right there as Jameis throws toward the sideline. Mike pulls it down, heads upfield. All right. Shout out to you, Mike. All right. And Jameis. All right. So let's keep it moving, man. Just wanted to show that. O-line depleted. And as you can see, I was looking at footage of him walking. I don't see any limping going on right there. So that's a positive, too. Okay. O-line depleted. Things probably couldn't have went worse for the Saints today on the O-line. Trevor Penning first exited due to injury, being able to walk under his own power, which was good. The news is that he later returned. Next came James Hurst, left the field and did not return. Dennis Allen said it was a foot issue, and that's all he said at the time. So we should be getting something soon on him. Later, Sage Dockstader left the field with an apparent left arm injury and did not return. He got an opportunity to play on the back of the offensive lineman depth chart, got in there, and unfortunately for him, he got hurt. New Orleans was down all three of their main tackles at one point, and with others not playing, it was certain put a heightened focus on Dockstader and Lewis Kidd. Look for the Saints to make some quick moves, and they did. We'll tell you about it after we cover this. Walkthrough notes. Defensively, the Saints roll out the nickel look with Peyton Turner, Carl Granderson on the edges, on Yamada and Tuttle in the middle. Eric Wilson and Demario Davis at linebacker. Chauncey Gardner in the slot, and the Debo and Lattimore on outside. Could you imagine? Tyrann Mathieu and Marcus May were at safety. That's as close as you can get to the Saints starting lineup going in there outside of having Peyton Turner and Granderson there. Of course, you would have Cam and Davenport, you know, when he's finally healthy to play in that thing. But seeing Demario Davis and Eric Wilson playing together, man, they look really good, man. I'm not going to tell you no lie. Eric Wilson has been solid in camp, and he looks really good next to Demario Davis. So with Pete Werner being out right now. So then on offense, the New Orleans had a much different look without Ram and Young. Penning got the start at left tackle with Kelvin Throckmorton, Eric McCoy, Cesar Ruiz, and James Hurst being the others from left to right. Winston took reps with the first team, but Dalton handled all the team drills. Now, of course, they had a little skirmish there. Allen confirmed after practice that Landry exited practice due to an on-field skirmish. Teams were coming together during special teams drills, and obviously things on the second day were just a bit more spirited. Landry got into it with Eric Stokes, whoever the hell he is. Team drill report. New Orleans didn't look good on offense to start the team drills. There were at least 4 sacks between Dalton and Book, with Book taking the majority of them. Of course, give some credit to the Packers D-line, though. They took it to another level on Wednesday. And, of course, that was the thing we talked about when we watched the game with the Texans, is the fact that Green Bay will present to you a more, definitely a better defense and a better defensive line to create pressure there, better defense overall than the Texans. So it levels up the competition to see how these guys respond to an elevated level of competition. So there it is. Red zone work saw Andy Dalton catch fires. He bounced back from back-to-back sacks on first 2 plays to throw 1, 2, 3 touchdowns on 3 straight plays. The first one was a slant to Chris Olave. He then found Jawan Johnson in the back of the end zone. And on the next series, his first pass was a touchdown to, you guessed it, Adam Troutman, who made a great leap over a defender to get the throw for the score. So Lucas Krull got a touchdown on a curl route just 3 plays later, and Dalton was hot in the red zone, finishing 4 of 4. Ian Book, first 2 reps in the red zone saw them end with pass breakups as they both passes intended for Tony Jones Jr. The second play would have been blown dead as a sack. The next set of team drills started from the team's own 40-yard line. Andy Dalton led a scoring drive. He was 4 of 4. The second play was Ingram bursting up the middle that would have went for a touchdown. It was a pretty of a run as you've seen from Ingram. Dalton had a huge 30-yard play to, you guessed it, Chris Olave that helped set up the team in the red zone. AK-41 took it from 3 yards out 2 plays later. Ian Book started out promising after a big run with Tony Jones off the left side. However, that was about it on the drive as the offense was stuffed in the run department on 3 straight plays, and the 2 passes Book had were overthrows to Deontay Harty. Get it together, Book. The final portion of the team drills involved the 2-minute offense as both teams started in their own territory with a $1:10 on the clock. The Saints and the Pack first team offenses failed to score, as well as the second team New Orleans offense. Jordan Love piloted a drive that resulted in a touchdown to close out the practice. Aaron Rodgers' series, the Saints defense stood tall with Cam providing a good bit of pressure and a sack. Adebo dropped a sure pick on the deep slant route that could have ended the drive with 17 seconds left. However, the team rebounded and got the sack to finish it off. Now, of course, the good to see side of things is Lucas Krull made 2 really good catches in a 2-minute drill from Ian Book. The first one went deep over the middle. He paid the price after being hit immediately by Ty Summers, but he hung on to it. He then had another good catch near the right sideline for a big gain. You don't see that. You don't say that that's too late for him, but after missing the Texans game, Krull needs to take reps and continue to build off of them. We know Krull could catch. We know he can move. We know he's a talented big tight end. And we'll love to see more of him, and probably we will see more of him in the Green Bay in the final, and then the 3rd preseason game. The real deal. Chris Olave is the real deal. He had himself a tremendous practice. You saw how easy it was for him to get open underneath all over the field as they just lost him in coverage where someone was confused. However, it didn't stop there. Olave made good contested catches, including a really pretty one from Dalton for a deep sideline gain on the scoring drive. That's tons of reasons to be excited about the Rook. Now, we said when you looked at Chris Olave in practice, you knew Chris Olave was something special. You knew what he was. And shout out to Dennis Allen. Let me just take a break right quick and give a shout out to Dennis Allen, man, for real. And I'm going to tell you why I'm giving a shout out, because Dennis Allen did something terrific. Dennis Allen did something terrific, fam. What he did was Dennis Allen went to Mike Thomas. This was right after he got picked up here. Remember when he got signed on, DA went to Mike Thomas and told Mike Thomas, this is way back when he first got signed as the head coach of the Saints. One of his first things he did was he went to Mike Thomas and told Mike Thomas that he's still a part of this team. Because at that time, remember, there were they couldn't wait to start lying about trade rumors and throwing out trade rumors and saying all this kind of old stuff. The Saints are considering trade Mike Thomas. Y'all remember that? So DA went out there and squashed all that nonsense, because right when that happened, Michael Thomas is looking to be traded. No, he wasn't. You know, they just lie and make up stories for clickbait type of stuff. They don't operate well. That's what they do. So DA went out there. He made it right with Mike Thomas, told him he was a part of the team. And then when the draft came around, he did everything he could to move up to get Chris Olave. Y'all remember that? Now, he gave up multiple picks. People forget this, but being that I'm a bit of a Saint historian, and the fact that the great Saint Tank have a PhD in Saintology, baby. We all do. So what I'm saying is, we remember what happened. We remember that people was upset that the Saints gave up multiple picks to move up in the draft to pick Chris Olave. Where are you now? Where are these guys at now about these picks that was mad about giving up extra picks to go and get Chris Olave? Why? Because Mike Thomas wanted that kid here. And what happened? Well, Dennis Allen did it. And look at him now. Look at what you got there now. Look at here. Look at here. Girl, look at here. So, I mean, what can I tell you on that? Anyway, let's keep it moving, fam. And book struggles. The struggle book. Man, listen, let me tell you something, man. This is not getting any easier to talk about Ian Book, as the family members keep berating me with book puns. And they're going to be some in this thing too. Book struggles. Ian Book had a really rough practice. He was sacked several times in team drills. He had a couple of overthrows, and it's the same similar things that we've seen. And like I've said, if you're going to make mistakes, make them in practice, because that's when you need to kind of make your mistakes, because we all learn based on our errors. You know, you learn a lot more in your failures than you do in your successes. Sometimes you got to fail several times in a row before you ultimately get the understanding of what you need to do to be successful. That's just how the good Most High made us. We learn from our errors. So when you look at Book during this thing, he's not comfortable behind the offensive line. He's continually overthrowing people, and he's actually was an accurate quarterback. So I'm thinking Book's struggles is tied to his confidence, man, because it's got to be. It makes no sense for him to repetitively keep overthrowing people and scrambling his way out of situations. Like, I had the opportunity to review some of the tape, and I was looking at Ian Book in the Tennessee game. Ian Book, if some of the plays, not saying one of the sacks like the one where Penning pushed the guy down and he stepped into the sack, which Penning got credit for giving up a sack, but, you know, Ian Book stepped into that thing. But a couple of those plays, only thing Ian Book had to do was slide up in the pocket and make a throw. But he was looking to escape both times, and it didn't work out well. So he has to learn, man. He has to get his confidence back, man, because this is the only thing that's going to give him a chance. And he really is having some problems. But John Hendricks says that, you know, we know about the couple overthrows of Deontay Harris-Hardy. He had a pass had been better thrown, Hardy and Stroud, they both would have been touchdowns. He facing tremendous amount of pressures to deliver on Friday because Andy Dalton will more than likely play a series just like he did in the first preseason game. And that gives Book all of the rest of the game unless Costello gets an opportunity to play in the fourth quarter to kind of get us an opportunity to look at somebody else. But the preseason is really working into Book's favor in terms of him getting an opportunity to step up and show what he could do. Now he's facing tremendous amounts of pressure to deliver on Friday. The Saints and Packers have a joint practice together planned for the evening, and teams will have their own walkthroughs on Thursday, which are closed to the public and media, and then of course the Friday game. So we're getting through the week really fast, fam. It was almost like we was just watching the Texans game on Saturday, and now it's hump day, and tomorrow's Thursday, and of course 2 days from now you're gonna be looking at a couple of days so he's back to the preseason, the second preseason game on Friday night. So boy, is rolling quick, and I'm glad because I want to get the hell out of preseason, man. Let's get the regular season on. So yeah, that's the report. Shout out to John Hendricks and the Saints News Network, Brother Bob, Brother Kyle T. Mosley, and the rest of the family members over there. Appreciate the report, man. Let's jump to the wire, man. Saints wire on this one as we talk about the tackles, Trevor Penning and James Hurst with the exiting of the injuries. Now, of course, Sigler's on the scoop. He says worth monitoring the Saints depth chart. Took a hit Wednesday with both the starting left tackle Hurst and his backup Penning leaving practice with apparent injuries. We did know Penning returned and kind of finished up the thing, but Hurst did not. It's still a very dicey situation. And in that thought process right there, I don't know what's going on with Hurst. Hurst didn't come back. Hopefully it's not nothing bad. We probably going to learn about this tomorrow or the next day about the status of James Hurst. It's a foot issue, you know, so we'll have to watch and see, man. With 2 games left before the preseason starts, and I mean the regular season, pardon me, man, this will be interesting. If Hurst's situation is something, we'll see. Penning might be the guy. We'll see, man. We'll see what's going on with Hurst. The Saints were already resting all-pro tackle Ramczyk and his backup second-year pro Landon Young. That put Hurst in the right tackle for their joint practice session with the Packers. Penning on the left side with the top 4 tackles out of action. A pair of drafted guys found their way in there. And remember, Sage Dockstader also got hurt. Lewis Kidd played in the matchup. We don't know how severe the injury to Penning or Hurst are and how much time they're expected to miss while recovering, though it's a good sign that Penning was able to return and gut it out. It's a very fluid situation, so hopefully both of them bounce back quickly with the regular season set in just a couple of weeks. Saints, we need all hands on deck and stay tuned to updates here. So yeah, that's well said. So we know about the Penning fiasco, family, to be honest with you, is that Penning, listen, and we talked about it when we was going over footage of him, and we did some film breakdown on Penning on air. And listen, like I told you, he's an amazing athlete. I mean, you look at how fast he jumps out of his stance, how fast he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. But the fundamental stuff, he's good at some of the stuff like using his arms to extend out, and like I consider it like a boxer's jab, how he stabs those guys to get them in position. He does a good job of squaring up too. Like you got a pass rusher that's coming in. Penning does a good job of hopping in the path and sticking his hands out. He got to learn to keep them hands inside there and not outside. That's where you get them holdings from. But he's been doing a pretty good job of resituating his hands to stay inside the frame to operate against the defender. And then a lot of times you see Penning then kind of get, I guess he gets parallel with the offensive line to stop defenders so he can create lanes behind them to run to. Guy's very talented, man. And of course, he's done, and credit to him, he's done a wonderful job of keeping his temperament in check too after he was through out of camp. So that was something we watched out for. So good maturation with that so far. But the Hurst situation does create an interesting dynamic here, depending on where it goes, because Penning was a guy that a lot of people say, well, Q, he gonna overtake Hurst for that left tackle position. If Hurst, depending on the foot issue, man, this is looking pretty interesting, to be honest with you, fam. We'll know something on both these guys probably in the next day or so. Definitely, and probably the next day or maybe the day or two, we'll know something about them, exactly what's going on with the injuries, man. So anyway, the Saints did make a move, family, and what it was they signed, they claimed Derrick Kelly. Remember Derrick Kelly? Off of waivers from the Jets, and the Saints bringing back a familiar face. The Saints have claimed offensive lineman Derrick Kelly off of waivers, according to Transaction Wire. The Jets waived Kelly early this week. Kelly entered the league as an undrafted free agent with the Saints back in 2019 and was with the club through part of the season. He appeared in 6 games for the team in 2020, mainly playing on special teams. After the Saints cut Kelly from the practice squad in 21, he signed with the Giants practice squad in mid-October and appeared in 1 game. The Kelly signed with the Jets in May. The Saints have also placed defensive lineman Jaleel Johnson, who they just signed Jaleel Johnson back. After cutting him, they signed him back, and then now he got hurt and he on the injury list. And he had re-signed with the Saints early this week. So bad luck for Jaleel Johnson. Too bad for him. He goes on the IR. Man, it's tough. But yeah, but there you go, family. With the injuries that's mounting, that's dealing with the issues with Hurst and Penning, the Saints go back to a familiar face and Derrick Kelly off the waiver wire to bring him back there to help the Saints out with the depth position. So, that's a few things right there. All right, fam. So with that being said, fam, we're going to go through our quick observation. We did cover a few stories. We started the broadcast with DA breaking the game down. Mike Thomas, what his thoughts was on him and how he looked coming in, getting ready for the regular season. We also played Keyshawn Johnson's interview, giving us an insight on the mind of Mike Thomas and the motivations therein. And he gave us dropped some Jews on that. We also went over the observations for day 6 in this thing. We also talked about the Penning and Hurst situation. Penning's looks a little bit more promising than Hurst. And of course, Derrick Kelly, man. Derrick Kelly signing back with the black and gold to help out with depth situation. Of course, with a couple of games from the matchup with the Green Bay Packers up there in Wisconsin. So we'll see how it all plays as we keep this thing moving. So shout out to the fam on this one. All right, fam. Hit the like button for me, fam. If you hadn't hit it, hit the like button. 985 Live, what's up, fam? I'm gonna go over a few questions, fam, before I bounce out. I got a few things I gotta do. Some other shows I gotta jump on. So let me go ahead and get a few shots out to you guys, and of course go over a few questions right here, right quickly. I'm just gonna roll them. So if you got any questions, fam, throw them in the chat. I'll try my best to get to them. All right, shout out to you guys. All right, so any questions here? Let me see. 985 Live in the building says, do you think we will resign Malcolm Brown? Yeah, I heard about Malcolm Brown getting cut, man. And listen, the Saints do bring back guys. Listen, Malcolm Brown really helped out in the black and gold building. It would, my goodness, to bring him back it would fit, because you just had an injury to Jaleel Johnson. He got placed on IR. Malcolm's there. Malcolm will work for you for cheap. It won't cost you a lot of money to bring Malcolm Brown back. And you put Malcolm Brown in there with passing yo Malcolm Roach, how Malcolm Roach is stepping up. Man, do you not understand, man, how good the Saints defense was when Malcolm was in there the last time around. Then the Saints basically traded him for picks, I think it was, to the Jaguars. The Jaguars released him. He comes back to the Saints with passing Malcolm Roach and Shy Tuttle and Kentavious Street and oh my goodness, that will be really a smart signing by the Saints. And like I said, they did bring Derrick Kelly back, but the corresponding move was to put Jaleel Johnson on the IR. So I'm pretty sure they can find some room for him if they needed to. You see what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting, man. Get rid of Taco Charlton and bring him back. Yeah, I'm for that, man. I'm for bringing Malcolm Brown back, man. I love that, man. No doubt about it. That'll be smart. I'm with you on that, fam. All right, let's keep it going, man. Kevin Conley, shout out to you, says, DeMario Big Q, play that interview, dude. Yeah, I don't have time to play it. I heard the DeMario Davis interview, man. I got a lot of love for DeMario Davis. He just do stuff the right way, bro. He do stuff the right way. But yeah, I heard the interview. I just don't have enough time to spin it right now. But I appreciate you, bro. All right. Who else we got? Any questions here, fam? Marty says, back growing up. Okay. Yeah. 7-on-7. We never got we never got hurt. These guys should be in shape. How they always getting hurt. It's a physical game. And back then, I'm pretty sure, like today, I don't know. I think like the guys are a lot faster and they collide into each other a lot faster. They're running into each other a lot faster than previous guys did. You got to admit, like these athletes nowadays, my goodness, they're a lot faster than what they used to, which means they running into each other a lot faster, which is causing problems. So, I mean, you never can tell, man. But DeMario Davis doesn't seem to have injury issues. Cam Jordan doesn't. I mean, it's always some that have the secret on how it goes, and some that they just can't get away from it. I don't have a head to tail on that, but it should be studied. That's what it should be. All right, Tyrios, what's up, fam? Says Big Q, do you really believe the Bengals gonna beat us? I doubt it. Man, that's gonna be a good game, bro. It's going to be a big game. It's going to be a good game. I actually think the Saints will win that game, to be honest with you, Terrio. I think the Saints will beat the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to be honest with you. The Saints defense, if they're intact, Jameis is there, and the offensive line holds up, we should be able to beat those Bengals, man. It'll be a good game. It'll be a really good game, man. But in the end, I think the Saints can beat the Bengals. I don't think the Bengals are invincible. I think the Bengals got a lot of issues. I like the Bengals because of a lot of the players. They have LSU guys, and I'm an LSU dude. So Joy B and Jamar Chase and guys like that, man, listen, man, love what they're doing up there. Love what they're doing up there, but I still say the Saints beat the Bengals. I still say the Saints beat the Bengals. I still say the Saints defense will be the number one defense in the NFL when it's all said and done. You had Marcus May, whatever legal stuff he gets through, and the Saints secondary and their depth and what they're going to show, that safety thing. Listen, they're not talking enough about that, but I'm just going to say it. That the idea that Dennis Allen has to have Marcus May and Tyrann Mathieu out there, that deals with that. That's safety deception. That's going to get a lot of guys like Joey B, who hadn't been in the league long, to see what they're going to do. That's going to get quarterbacks like him in a lot of problems, because you won't be able to tell what the safeties are doing, whether they're blitzing or dropping into coverage, and they both do equally well. And when Dennis Allen and Coach Richard are able to disguise those safeties, that's going to be problematic for a lot of quarterbacks that ain't used to seeing stuff like that. That is a huge thing for the Saints defense. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. That is huge. We talked about that before Dennis Allen came back around recently and was talking about the fact that how he wants to use those safeties. I said, Dennis, I see what you're doing. That's pretty crafty. That's pretty clever. That safety deception is going to get a lot of quarterbacks and give them some problems, bro, for real. No doubt about it. All right, shout out to you, fam. But I still say the Saints beat the Bengals, man. It'll be a good game, but I think the Saints come out with that thing. Eugene say Underhill is reporting Hurts injury doesn't appear serious and should be okay. Good. Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Eugene. Appreciate that little knowledge, dropping that knowledge. Appreciate you, bro. All right. Yeah. I say we beat the Bengals, man. Who that daddy say our defense will put? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Saints, listen. Chris Olave, Jarvis Landry, Mike Thomas, Taysom Hill moving around in there, and a new person on the Saints offense in Adam Troutman, who's playing underneath all of that, who is having a solid camp, did all that stuff in the offseason. He will be a factor in that. Jawan Johnson, the lesser named guys, will have an impact. Deontay Harty also stretching out stuff, and Jameis is loving throwing the deep ball. So like I said, they're discounting the Saints defense severely, but the Saints have more weapons than Cincinnati does, even though they're ranking some of these guys ahead of them. Like they got Jamar Chase, and I love him, but he's not better than Michael Thomas at this stage of his career. He just got there. Let's have more of a body of work. Get 4, 5, 6 years under your belt and keep that production up, which I know you could, so that you can eventually be put next to a Michael Thomas. But Michael Thomas is better than Jamar Chase. He's better than these guys. He has a longer body of work, and he knows what he's doing. Now, Chase is talented. The Saints offense, in my estimation, is better than the Bengals offense. It is. It is. They are. And then, of course, you operating with a wide open offense like ours and a defense on the back end and the special teams game. No disrespect to Cincinnati. I think they're going to be terrific. But I'm just saying at the end of the day, man, the Saints is serious. They real deal, and they playing with a chip on their shoulder. They playing with a goddamn chip on their shoulder, and they're going to kick some ass, bottom line. All right, Damien. What's up, Damien? Says, what's up? Who that to your Rated R Sports Debates, man? Shout out to you. Damien says, quick question, Big Q. Me personally, I think that was the best thing that happened for our Tigers with Miles Brennan getting the hell out of here. Yeah, that's one of the reports I got to work on today on Tough Tiger Talk, our college station, is that I have several reports I got to file dealing with Miles Brennan's situation. He's the quarterback competing for the starting job at LSU. And then, of course, he quit because Brian Kelly, the new head coach, told him that he wasn't going to start. So he quit college football. I mean, he was, and to be honest with you, my estimation or take on him, I'm going to do a video on it, but he was less than stellar. He had no personality. He had the personality of a board, a paint drying on the wall. Not interesting at all. He didn't have the flair and the type of fiery personality that you would need to operate in the SEC LSU style of offense. You have characters like Joey B, who was high profile guys throwing his hand, doing this. That guy should have been a dentist somewhere. Good that he retired. Maybe he can go start that dentist practice somewhere, because he got the temperament of a humble dentist. I'm going to just keep it real with you. All right, shout out to you. All right. Eli says, man, we getting too far ahead. Ourselves first game is the Falcons. I hope we don't take them lightly. Very good. Well said, Eli. Elliot, thank you for that, bro. Yeah, keep us centered, bro. Yeah, keep us grounded. All right, yeah, but but listen, Elliot, I still say we're gonna kick some Falcon ass. All right, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna walk game by game, like you referenced, my friend, until we get to the Bengals, and we're gonna make them the Bungles, at least for that one game. All right, shout out to the fam. All right, Hart says defense kept Rodgers under 50% pass in both days at practice. The secondary is going to perform this year. Absolutely. Aaron Rodgers having problems with that Saints defense, and they're all out there. Cam, all of them out there. You see? And that's the level of protection where you see Aaron Rodgers in practice trying to make the plays and all this kind of old stuff. Man, listen. Saints defense for real. They're not scared of no Aaron Rodgers. We respect Aaron Rodgers. We do. We like Tom Brady. We respect Tom Brady. But the Saints defense could be considered, the new name for the Saints defense should be Legend Killers, because that's what they're going to do you. If you, the Saints defense is the Legend Killers. That's what they do. They killed the legend of Aaron Rodgers when he was trying to do in the swamps, way down deep, jungle deep. About to bust a Dolomite rhyme for you. Way down deep, way down in the jungle deep. And then you throw the Saints in there. Aaron Rodgers took his ass to the swamps in Jacksonville, and the Saints running from hurricanes brought the pain on Aaron Rodgers the first week last week. That was a wonderful thing. They couldn't carry the momentum as they took Carolina. So we had injuries and other things that occurred, and Carolina was able to get one on us. But yeah, the Legend Killers, man, because they do that to Tom Brady every time they play him. So if you're a quarterback with a good legend, you're in trouble against the Saints. That means Russell Wilson, when he gets an opportunity, any quarterback that got some type of first round or first ballot Hall of Fame type stuff that they'll be looking at when they get them hung up, watch out for the Legend Killers, because they about doing it. They're not scared of no Aaron Rodgers. They're not scared of no Tom Brady. They're going to get you down on the ground, baby. They ain't playing with you. All right, so yeah. All right, shout out. What's up, Bishop? Shout out to your fam. Thank you for being here. Yeah, Wallace said 12 wins, easy. All right. Yeah, we stay healthy, man. We should be all right, bro. We should be all right. All right. St. John, what's up, bro? Says Cam Jordan is going to get into that backfield against ATL and it's really going to hit him that Matt Ryan isn't there anymore. Yeah, you still can't discount the Atlanta Falcons, bro, out here with the brother Sam. You're right. And really the true thing is, and we kind of getting in there, talking about it because we know what we're dealing with. But at the end of the day, the smart motion is always to take it one game at a time. As long as you do that, we can't underestimate or overestimate somebody. See what I'm saying? So there you go. Yeah, Brett Favre, don't forget about him. Yeah, that was back in the legend. That was the earlier legend killing defense. So it is what it is. Dame says, Big Q, sound like I heard you say you're going to do another show. If so, what? So can we follow? But yeah, I'm working on some shows. I'm doing some tape broadcasts. I got some Pelican content I got to roll out. I got some LSU stuff. All that stuff should be rolling out tonight, man. I don't know when it is going to be, but by tonight, if you just hit the notifications on those channels, you'll be hearing some content. I got several shows for the Tough Tiger Talk, some stuff for Pelican Post Game Report, and some boxing content to go over the preview for the Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua heavyweight unification fight that's coming up soon. As a matter of fact, this weekend that's going down, that's another big fight that I'll do a preview for as well, and some other stuff that we're going to talk about on Ring King. So that'll all be out tonight, man. A lot of stuff going on. So with that being said, yeah, time to put in work. That's right. What's up, Country Rail? Shout out to you, brother. Good to see you in the chat, man. Shout out to you, brother Jerry. What's up? Way down in the jungle. You do it in Reverend Saint. Way down deep. Yeah, baby, way down deep in the jungle deep, baby, that was an animal, baby. We had to, baby, listen, that'll be funny. The dude Dolomite, Reverend Saint style. Wait, listen, baby, way down deep, baby, let me tell you something. All right, what's up, Ramsey? Shout out, man. Eugene, this is the last one. What are your thoughts on where the 5 Saints placed in the top 100 rankings? I think they were sorely underestimated, bro, to be honest with you. I feel like each of them was crazy. Yeah, of course. But that's indicative, especially the biggest offense was Elvin Kamara. I think putting these other guys ahead of him is ridiculous, man. But that's more fuel for your fire, to be honest with you, because it's utterly ridiculous. So you mean to tell me there are several backs that are better than Elvin Kamara? And Kamara, it's just he wasn't hurt. He coming into the season, so there's no reason to say, okay, because he was like a Mike Thomas, he missed the season, so he might have you can't say that about Elvin Kamara. They're underranking all of them. Lattimore, Demario Davis, Cam. Cam took a step back. How Cam took a step back when Cam's numbers was up there? How you take a step back what he did? It's no rationale for the foolishness that we see, but it's motivation for them guys to step up because these are their peers saying this about them. So that's even more fuel for the fire for these guys to step out and do what they need to do. The Saints getting every chip that they need to be pissed off about to push forward to make things pop. You got every sense of motivation that you need to make that happen, you see? Tony said, what's up, Tony? Said, do you think the Saints will win more games than projected? The projection is 7.5. Absolutely, Tony. The Saints is going to win way more than 7.5 games. We get double digits, my friend. I say the Saints win, like you ain't even have a quarterback last year, bro, and you won 9 games, toward the back end. We didn't even have a functional quarterback, but we had defense in the running game. Saints did some stuff. If we'd had better special, even if we'd have if Will Lutz, or we even had a decent kicking early on and we didn't have to go through those, remember the rotation of kickers? We would have won games there. So at the end of the day, man, I definitely say the Saints win at least 10, 11, at least 11 games to me. I'm thinking they get 10 games easily. They just need to stay healthy. Jameis stays healthy. And even if Jameis has a few games where he misses, you still have Andy Dalton. See, the Saints went way ahead of this thing. They're not giving the Saints credit because they're not looking at what happened. We see it because we know the team is that they did everything they were supposed to do and improving the depth behind all the key areas and then moving this thing forward. So, man, listen, I'm not tripping on it, but they're going to win. Those are idiots saying that to you bro. Just throw that crap out because that won't 7.5 games. That's ridiculous, man. That's totally ridiculous. So appreciate that. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you, Tony. Nola, what's up, fam? Yeah, shout out to you, bro. Yeah, absolutely. Damien says, no, Q, you already know I'm subscribed. Okay, thank you, Damien. Shout out to you. Ranzavi says, Big Q, I guess Sean Payton won those 9 games. I know, bro. I know he won them 9. Well, you're not going to win because they threw that out there. I played it on the shot. I let y'all listen to it. It's all kind of stupidness. Stuff don't even make sense. They just blurting it out. Number one reason why you're not going to win. Sean Payton's not there. Number 2 reason why you're not going to win. Drew Brees ain't there, even though Drew Brees retired almost 2 years ago. Number 3 reason why you're not going to win. Because we don't know what kind of Jameis Winston you're going to get. Number 4 reason why you're not going to win. Because is Michael Thomas truly healthy? Weak ass commentary, man. They was like, what kind of Jameis Winston? We need you don't need superstar Jameis. You need Jameis Winston from last year. That's all you need. He don't need to be a star. He just being regular Jameis gets him that. Well, we don't know if he gonna throw that many interceptions. He played 7 games last year. He was on par to have one of the best seasons of his career in the Saints system. And might I add, them idiots that keep talking about 33 touchdowns versus 30 interceptions always admit by just being deceptive that those were 2 separate systems that he was playing in. He was playing in a bullshit system with Bruce Arians in Tampa Bay, totally dysfunctional, totally garbage. And of course, he was playing in a functional system when he got here with the Saints. And you've seen enough. You've seen 7 games of production from Jameis last year for you to have a good opinion or a good look on what Jameis looked like. You don't have to even think about it. How does he look in the Saints system? Go back and look to last year. Go look at the tape. 14 touchdowns versus 3 interceptions. He can't keep the interceptions down. Look at the ratio on that. 14-3. But it's not about telling the truth. It's about getting views. It's about getting clicks. It's about getting something to get you stirred up. That's what it's about. And they'll pop any kind of nonsense because most of these people, you never heard of them because they don't have any. They got the personality of pencils. They can't keep it real and tell the truth. They can't use facts and stats, even though they be talking mess. The guys be putting the facts and stats on the stream that be totally discounting and conflicting with what they're saying. So even the stat people know better than they do. Maybe they should take the stat people and put them in the commentator roles. Because most of them people don't know what they're talking about and they don't do the proper research. I done busted them up all the time with this foolishness. So the excuses why the Saints can't be successful is absolute garbage. Is that what they're throwing at you? That's absolute nonsense. So anyway, with that being said, fam, listen, I'm about bop out on that. I got some stuff to take care of. But listen, I appreciate y'all for being in the stream. Still over 200, almost 300 in us earlier. 200 in here. Mash upon the like button. If you're not a subscriber, feel free. I see you, Ramsey, 13 and 4. I got you, for Bram. I appreciate you, bro. Trap Star, appreciate you. Shout out to you, my brother. Feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the show on your social media feed. It helps us out. Shout out to Taz Multimedia as well. Shout out to DJ 5047. Shout out to DJ 5047. Shout out to Depreach. Shout out to A-Dub, the prop killer. Shout out to OG Gotti and some of the newest members of the Sports Coma family. Hit the like button and join us today, fam. All right, Damien, quick question, man. Shout out to you, Boomin. Much love to you, my fam. Appreciate you, my brother. All right, quick question, Big Q. If Hurst is out for some time, should we be concerned a little? Hurst at left tackle. I had concerns prior to Hurst getting hurt, but they're saying, Underhill saying that it's not nothing serious, which is a positive. But you might not see Hurst out there if that's the case. He might be shut down for the rest of the preseason. So usually, if a potential starter, if they see him as a starter and he gets hurt, they end up shutting him down because depending on Penning, because Penning is another guy that they're gonna give a lot of reps to this game and the last game of the season to see more out of Penning. So if Hurst is the guy to start at left tackle, I had concerns prior to that, bro, because you know how I feel about it. I won't bore you with the details about how I feel. You know how I feel that I don't think Hurst or Penning should be playing left tackle. If Jameis is a right-handed quarterback, which would make this my blind side behind me is my blind side, which means Penning which means Hurst will be protecting my blind side. In NFL circles, you always use your best tackle to protect the blind side of your quarterback. I don't have to keep going in there and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm hitting at. You know what I'm going. So I don't think Hurst or Penning should be left tackle. I think they should be right tackle. And Ramczyk should be put left tackle. I don't hear this stuff about no contract and that it's in his contract. He'll get extra money. Hell, he already making top dollar. You know, what's going to be more expensive, paying him that little extra money, or Jameis? If Jameis, they can't block for Jameis on his blind side, him getting hurt. What's going to cost you more? Now like I said before, Ramczyk thought he was drafted as a left tackle. You know, let him go back to the position that he was drafted. He became a top-notch first round talent for it. That's my stake on that thing, and I've been kind of nervous about that thing because I like Hurst and I like Penning, and Penning has the athleticism, but I think he's kind of fresh in this thing. So I don't know. I don't know if they see Penning as Tony Buselli or something like. Oh, I don't know. But I think the surefire thing that you have is Ryan Ramczyk. And for whatever reason, they got him way over here, looking over here, as opposed to protecting Jameis's blind side. And I just don't understand the rationale for that. I just don't get it. So hopefully nothing happens there. And Penning, I like Penning a lot, but man, you trusting him to go up against some of the toughest edge rushers in the game. And he's talented. But my goodness, man, that is a lot to put in the hands of an offensive lineman. We'll see how it all shakes going forward. Hopefully it works out well, man. Hopefully it works out. But man, that's just my little concern I got right there. All right, so with that being said, fam, I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all for being here, man. Hit the like button, fam. And listen, I'm gonna holler at y'all on the next stream if you want some more information on the platforms that we do. It's a bunch of stuff. We put out 40 to 50 shows a month. There's not just the Sports Coma, but the PRO Media Network is a combination of several platforms, whether we talk about basketball, pro basketball, boxing, college football, and of course pro football with our New Orleans Saints. If you want information on that, you can simply go to our Linktree link in the description section below. Pop that thing open, and it got all nice and pretty, nice and organized. All of the headquartered website of the platform is the whothatdaily.com, with all of our articles, all of our stuff is available right there. And of course, you can scroll down for merch. We got several merch stores where we got all kind of stuff, dozens of merch stuff that behind the platform that's there, and all kind of other information for the platform. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a wonderful night, and I'll be back on Thursday to talk at you. So who that to you, and I'm out.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 huh? Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q.
Shout out, man, to Raymond Blakes. Shout out to Raymond Blakes and Artie Robinson for the cash apps, man. Much love to Raymond Blakes. Thank you, brother. And Artie Robinson for the cash apps. Thank y'all, man. Who that to you? And I'm out.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that? Who that?
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. Check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform stores where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember,